Alright guys, so for 25 days of suggestions today, I thought it would be cool to go out to Target and see what Cars stock looks like where I live halfway through December. So I'm going to head off. My sister's going to come with me. She's going to be driving. We ready to go? No. No. How did you... How are you in my car? Creepy Santa, look, I'm happy you're here. I completely forgot it's the 12th. You always come on the 12th. But how'd you... This was locked. I never opened this door. My sister's inside. How are you here? Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 12 of 25 Days of Suggestions 2025. Wow. I cannot believe we are already basically halfway through 25 Days of Suggestions this year. I really wish that time would just slow down. But you know, I also wish that Creepy Santa wouldn't spontaneously appear in my car, so we can't always get what we want, right? Today, we're going to be taking a look at Cam Spinner, suggested by Brazil Ball OFC. Thank you so much for your suggestion, as always, and make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see what we'll be reviewing tomorrow for day 13. Now, Cam Spinner is one of those next gens that has been released many times. He's one of those next gens I feel like is almost always on store shelves, to the point where I've kind of become desensitized to seeing Cam Spinner. But I think he really is a pretty fun and great looking next gen. I know I complain a lot that a lot of the next gens are just different shades of blue and purple, but Cam is one that I think really stands out, and he's also one that I think a lot of us have a bit of a deeper connection to, because Cam Spinner was one of two playable next gens in the Cars 3 video game, Driven to Win. For whatever reason, they chose Cam Spinner and Rich Mixon. I don't know why, but it did make Cam's diecast one that a lot of people were very excited for when it was first coming out back in 2019, myself included, and to this day, I display my Cam Spinners next to my Rich Mixons as sort of a little Easter egg in my display, a bit of a nod to their shared role as playable characters in the video game. Now, Cam Spinner, not to be confused with Cad Spinner from the multi-Oscar award-winning film Planes, Fire, and Rescue, is a pretty good-looking item, reusing the Danny Suarez mold, of course, with the closed mouth that most Danny Suarez model racers use, but not Danny himself. He is sponsored by Triple Dent, a reference to Triple Dent gum from Inside Out. Of course, we also have Terry Cargas, sponsored by that in Cars 3. It was one of a couple new sponsors added to the film, and I appreciate Pixar making one of those new sponsors an Easter egg in a reference to them being a parody of gum companies like Trident, right? We have a sort of mint leaf here, although I believe, if I remember correctly, it says on Terry that it's like a dent filter, right? Like something you put in your dents to fill them out. That just so happens to apparently taste like mint or smell like mint or something. So it's not chewing gum, which is funny. I mean, the cars have mouths. They may as well chew gum, right? But whatever. That is what it is in the Cars universe. Hence why it says Triple Dent and not Triple Dent gum. Now, Cam here has an error on him. He's got Paunchy Wipeout eyebrow syndrome. Unfortunately, he has the strange mistake that Mattel made on Paunchy Wipeout back in 2017, where they gave him black eyelids. And unlike Paunchy, who got a correction only a couple years later, Cam Spinner still to this day has not had his eyebrows fixed, which is really unfortunate. I will say it doesn't look nearly as bad as Paunchy's eyelids look. I think Cam looks pretty okay, to the point where I don't mind, but it is a pretty notable error on an otherwise really solid looking next gen. Really is unfortunate there. Moving on to the side, I really like the sort of mint colored wheels, and also how the number 31 is in a mint leaf. We also have the sort of sparkles to show you the minty freshness. What is it with gum companies and having like sparkly logos like they're trying to sell me soap? What is chewing gum if not soap for your mouth, right? Guys, one of these days I'm going to say something and I'm just going to get completely canceled. I don't know what, but one day I know. I don't look forward to it. Piston Cup, Combustor, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy as his secondary sponsors. He's got a lot of smears of black paint on him for some reason. A lot of marks on him, which is unfortunate. For a couple years, I had a lot of my cars not in their places in my collection, just in random boxes. And unfortunately, some of my custom cars that are painted all black rubbed off some of their paint onto a couple other items. Nowadays, I keep my customs in a separate bin when I'm keeping my cars in bins. So that's why you'll see some of my cars have some sort of colored marks on them. Got the number 31 up there, triple dent here on the spoiler with a bit of a white section here on some of the letters. Moving on to the back, we got his rookie stripes, number 31 triple dent logo, and once again, the mint leaf. Really like how that looks there. There is a look at the other side where you can see more paint that is on him. And for whatever reason, look at that. That's why is the letters are like sunken into the white part there. Is that supposed to be how he looks? Look at this side, right? Okay, look at how the triple dent is written here. And then look at this side. Half of the TRIP, like half of almost all the letters are missing here. They're just lost in the white void that is the part of Cam Spinner that's painted white. Is that an error on just mine, or is that on all copies of him? Let me know in the comments. That is certainly pretty strange. We got some more sparkles there, of course. And again, another look at those nice mint-colored wheels. And finally, there is a look at the base. All around, a pretty cool-looking next-gen. A lot of the next-gens feel pretty samey to me. And on my shelf, I'll admit that Cam looks pretty samey, but like I said, he does have some unique things that make him stand out, and he's also an item that I think a lot of people have a bit more of a connection to. But now, of course, it is time for us to pick tomorrow's review. I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a look at all the items that are left to be picked here. Of course, we got 13 more days, so any one of these items could be tomorrow's review. Let's find out who the lucky winner is going to be. It is... Oh, that's exciting. That's a really fun one. It's been a long time since I've taken a look at my old pal Chester Whipple filter. Oh, that's going to be fun. All right. Thank you all so much for watching this review. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 13. Bye now.